Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Play King's Quest 6 with a sound canvas. Now in the intro, I mentioned that I want input from you, and here's how it works. At the end of some episodes, I'll ask you to vote on a decision before I create the next episode. The rules are as follows. If you're unfamiliar with this game, go ahead and vote on whatever seems the most interesting. If you do know the game, you're still allowed to vote. Don't feel obligated to try for the best ending, however. Most importantly, be careful about spoiling for other viewers, including which choices give which outcomes at the end. If you post anything I deem to violate this rule, I'll take action, such as deleting the comment. However, I'll be more tolerant if I've already uploaded a video of it further on in the LP. With that out of the way, let's proceed. Alexander has washed up on a beach.
Alexander is standing on a beach littered with debris from his shipwreck. A path leads north into the lush green island. An occasional breeze rustles the nearby foliage. The remains of Alexander's sailing ship lie dashed upon the distant shore. The sky is sunny and clear. A few white clouds accent the bright blue. Rocks abound on this lush volcanic isle. The beach is covered with a fine-grained white sand.
And so on. There's lots of details in many of these screens, but I'm not going to try to look at everything.
Alexander's royal insignia ring lies abandoned on the sand. It must have slipped from his finger during the shipwreck. Fortunately, it was not lost in the sea.
Well, that's important. Let's pick that up.
Alexander picks up his royal insignia ring from the beach.
And just in case you're not familiar with these games, that little ding-a-ding sound means we got a point.
A long plank lies on the beach. No doubt it once belonged to Alexander's ship. Alexander pushes the plank to one side. A box has been partially buried under sand.
Now, what's in here?
The box must have opened in the sea, spilling its treasure.
Oh no.
Everything has been washed away, except for one coin of Daventry.
Well, we'll definitely need that.
Alexander takes the coin and leaves the ruined box where it is.
Let's turn up the speed to something tolerable.
Alexander is standing at a crossroads. To the left, he can see a village. To the right, a castle. From the south come the sounds of the sea.
Let's check out the castle first.
Alexander is standing in front of a fabulous castle. The path from the crossroads leads to the castle entrance. The entrance is being guarded by two dog-like creatures. Two guards take their stance in front of the castle doors. They look quite fierce and have the stiff, blank expression of soldiers on formal duty.
Well, maybe they can help us.
Alexander politely addresses the odd-looking guards at the castle doors, hoping to learn more about his predicament.
Good day to you, guards. I was cast upon this island in a storm, and I'm a little confused about my location. Could you tell me what place this is and who lives in this castle?
Hey, what is that you say? A castaway? A likely story. We haven't had any foreigners in this part since Alhazred arrived.
Don't be so rude, Gruff. He's not asking for any secrets. You're standing on the Isle of the Crown, lad. And this is the Castle of the Crown. The royal family resides here. Rather, what's left of the royal family.
The Isle of the Crown. But tell me, am I anywhere near the land of the Green Isles?
This is the land of the Green Isles. The Isle of the Crown is the main island, foolish boy.
Then Princess Cassima must live in this very castle.
Aye, the princess is indeed our treasured jewel to guard, and we consider it an honor.
Well, maybe we can convince them to let us in.
Excuse me, guardsmen. Guard dogs. I've been traveling for months to see Princess Cassima. I would like an audience, please.
I'm sorry, but the princess is not receiving visitors, particularly not strangers.
We're no stranger.
I really must see the princess. Could I speak with someone in charge?
Who are you that I should bother Captain Saladin, huh?
My name is Alexander. I am a prince of Daventry and a friend of the princess.
A prince, is it? I see. Yeah, and I am lord of this dusty path. Step aside. You'll not be getting into this castle without some proof of your claims.
Oh, come on.
I assure you, I am Prince Alexander of Daventry.
And I assure you that you'll not get past me without proof.
Well, what about...
As proof of my country, I have this coin. It bears a Daventry mint.
A beggar can own such a coin as well as a prince. This proves nothing.
But the image on the coin's face is that of my father, the king.
Really? Then you must take after your mother. I see no resemblance.
The castle guards seemed unimpressed enough with Alexander's coin of Daventry the first time. Funny. Alexander always thought he was the spitting image of King Graham.
Well, yeah, we'll deal with this later. Let's take a look at this castle.
The castle appears to be of Moorish architecture. Its marbled walls and delicate inlaid mosaics are unlike anything Alexander has ever experienced before. His own home, though lovely and dear to his heart, seems rough-hewn compared to this delicate beauty.
Alright, let's ask around in the village.
Alexander is standing on a sunny village street. There are open shops to his right, a hard-packed path beneath his feet, and palm trees waving over his head. To the north, a key-shaped arch leads to another part of the village. The sign says Pawn Shop. The pawn shop window has the words Curios and Antiques painted on it. What an interesting-looking shop. An old beggar is peddling his wares in the village. He offers a variety of lamps, all neatly lined up on a long pole.
Old lamps for new. Old lamps for new.
Good day, peddler.
Good day, sir. If you would like to get one of my fine new lamps, I'll need an old lamp in trade.
Isn't it a rather bad business? Taking old lamps and giving new lamps in exchange?
Well, there's always a chance that I'll find a genie. If I had a genie, I'd be richer than a king. Besides, there's always a roaring business in antique luminaries.
Yes, the Guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles has a story along these lines, where a bottle gets sold through a number of people, and finally someone thinks to rub it. So that's kind of the thing that this peddler is trying for. Let's take a look in the pawn shop.
Good day.
Well, hello.
Good day, merchant. What can you tell me about the Land of the Green Isles?
I can tell you she is in a dark time. Without the ferry, communication between the islands has ground to a halt, and so nearly has my business. Why the long ages of peace have ended, and why the crown has not done something about it is beyond me. But then, I am a shopkeeper, not a politician, and can only hope for better days.
Huh.
How bide you, good merchant?
Quite well, though a purchase would not hurt me any.
Well, okay, we'll do that in a couple of minutes, but first I want to take a look at some of the things in this shop, because it's packed with well, references.
The pawn shop is a dimly lit place with a slightly musty smell. Curiosities litter every corner and every shelf. For sale are articles that range from the bizarre to the commonplace, from the priceless to the practical.
Let's see.
A horn, probably used for drink or powder, hangs from the ceiling. The horn has plenty of nothing to say. A worn leather wineskin is suspended from the ceiling.
Yeah. Let's see.
A strange-looking winged device occupies one corner of the room. It is frail with disuse. Alexander finds it intriguing. Perhaps he thinks it was once used in a local sporting event, in which enthusiasts jumped from cliffs, glided on air currents, and then attempted to land, frequently crunching a bone or two in the process. Alexander shudders at the thought and decides to stick to dragon slaying.
Okay.
Towering mightily over the other pawn shop curiosities, the stuffed bear makes an ostentatious display.
And check this out.
The world-famous talking bear has been sulking ever since his abduction from a small mountain community in California. He refuses to discuss real estate.
I think there actually was a bear in the area of Sierra Online. Or was it outside? I don't remember exactly, but anyway.
An old suit of armor stands in the pawn shop. It looks like a vigilant guard against thieves and carpet salesmen, even though it is headless. The man of steel is stumped for an answer. A small red drum beats no more on the shelves of the pawn shop. Rat-a-tat-tat! A few well-aged barrels probably hold assorted smaller goods and perishables. The Land of the Green Isles must have at least one inhabitant with interest in the mystical, for a crystal ball has been traded in along with the more common household goods. The crystal ball remains perfectly clear and says nothing. A lady's hand mirror has been separated from its original trousseau and now gathers dust on the pawn shop shelves. A tall skeleton lends an air of mystery to the shop. Alexander already has a skeleton.
Yep, he sure does. Let's see.
A helmet, probably belonging to the headless armor also in the shop, has found its way to a separate part of the counter. The dusty shop remains peacefully quiet.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm not sure if all of these are, but probably at least most of them are references to previous games in the King's Quest series. Especially interesting are these shelves.
The back wall of the shop holds various odds and ends. For example, a hull hole detector for finding those hard-to-spot holes in small sailboats.
Remember King's Quest 5? Yeah.
Cat cookie mix. Play tricks on your friends, the box says.
King's Quest 3.
A golden bridle finder for finding those nearly invisible golden bridles. Self-adhesive emeralds, what you use when you don't have honey.
King's Quest 5 again.
Tongue climbing gear, tested on over 100 whale tongues. A uvula tickler, guaranteed to make large mammals sneeze. A cheese hook for retrieving cheese out of small holes.
King's Quest 5 again.
A shovel that's guaranteed not to break for over 100 grave diggings. A bridge repair kit for when you've crossed a bridge one too many times. Stair traction pads. Stop slipping off those narrow staircases.
Yeah, that would be really useful in early Sierra games.
A hole.
Okay, and then this one.
The back wall of the shop holds various bottles and potions. For example, a bottle labeled Owl Courage Potion for spineless owls.
King's Quest 5 again. Would have been very useful.
A bottle of Gnome Begone. Miniature carpet cleaner for those castles in a bottle.
King's Quest 5 again.
Bird's nest soup mix, treasure not included.
Also King's Quest 5.
Garlic, especially grown for vampire resilience.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Magic mirror glass cleaner for when your future looks fuzzy. Shark repellent. A small box of enchanted sorcerer's flea and tick collars.
King's Quest 5, I guess. Well, 3 and 5, referring to Manannan.
A bottle of no...
Okay, and let's take a look at this.
An elegant little glass dish decorates the countertop. The dish is full of green mints offered for the enjoyment of the customer.
Well, let's take one.
Alexander takes a mint. Alexander takes a closer look at the items on the counter.
I see you have noticed my mechanical nightingale. She is made of plain tin, but she sings the sweetest song you can imagine, barely distinguishable from the real thing.
Sure, whatever you say.
The flute is only made of plain wood, but its notes are fine and true. Ah, yes, the painter's brush. It was well used by one of the island's best painters. There's a lot of creativity in that brush, and its bristles are still in good condition. Have you an interest in tinder boxes? This one is only slightly battered. It holds a good supply of flint, a sturdy striking pad, and even a candle in case you find yourself with naught else to hold the flame.
Well, that would definitely be useful, but let's leave them for now. And let's go outside. We'll check out Ollie's books.
Hello, I will be right up. Now, what can I do for you?
Give me information.
Good day, sir. I'm a stranger in this land. What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
That is quite a question, young man. Who are you, and what would you have me tell you?
My name is Alexander. I know I'm on the Isle of the Crown, but I'd like to know whatever you can tell me about this island, and if there are other islands nearby.
You are indeed a stranger. Anxious is the man who knows not the customs of the land beneath his feet. This island is called the Isle of the Crown because the royal family's castle is here. Besides the castle, we also have this village and the docks over to the west. There are at least 3 other islands: the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, the Isle of the Beast, and the Isle of Wonder.
At least 3? Does no one know for certain?
This is no ordinary land, Alexander. The land of the Green Isles has always been a place of vague boundaries, as if islands come and go. Legend speaks of a 4th island, an isle shrouded in mists. I myself have never seen it. Then, too, the land of the Green Isles is said to exist on the boundaries of this world and the next. Even darker places are reputed to be closer here than anywhere else in the world.
That's quite a claim.
Claim, yes, but probably just local superstition. We who live here on the Isle of the Crown, at least, sleep well enough at night.
Those first 3 islands you mentioned, how might I learn more about them?
Ideally, a young man seeking such knowledge would travel to their shores and learn about them firsthand. Meeting the leaders of each place would be helpful, naturally. Unfortunately, the ferry no longer runs between the islands. There has been much political unrest, and it has been too dangerous to travel for years. Perhaps the ferryman can tell you more. He has little enough to do these days. And if you haven't been there already, you might seek an audience at the castle.
We might
Thank
do
you
that.
kindly, merchant, for all your good advice.
Ah, but advice is free, Alexander. Making use of it costs much more.
Yep. What is this here?
An antique leather-bound book is displayed on a little stand on the counter. On the elaborate cover is the title, Ye Useful Book of Magic Spells.
Useful indeed. Probably. Yes, we will probably want it. So let's ask about that.
How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I obtained it from the estate of the one and only magician this kingdom has ever had. Poofed himself into an aardvark in the end, or so I heard. I never found the spells all that useful myself, but then I lead a boring life. I tell you what, if you can find another rare book, something a bit more marketable, I might be willing to exchange the spell book for it.
Okay, well, we'll look for a rare book. Who is this?
An old man occasionally steals sidelong glances at Alexander from under a concealing hood.
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man just ignores Alexander.
Oh, that's odd. And there seems to be a book here.
There's a book entitled The Changing Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages on the small table in the reading area. It appears that some regular customer likes that book.
Huh. Let's see.
There's a small table near the door that bears a sign. The sign has undergone a number of changes. It once read 10 pence, but that was crossed out and replaced with 5 pence, then 1 pence, then free. The sign currently reads, "Take one, please." Only one book remains on the table. It looks like the bookshop owner really wants to get rid of that book.
Well, since this is an adventure game, we might as well take it. Can't turn down a free offer like that.
Alexander picks up the book from the small table.
Oh, yes, please, take that book. You have my most humble thanks for doing so, good sir.
Really? Thanks.
Okay, well, let's take a look at it.
Alexander opens the bargain book and reads a paragraph at random.
2 dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimers, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese, put over the result of 10 fine mackles, albeit small fine mackles, stretched over the total of 53 1/8 bottles of wild beast lard.
Phew, what an incredibly boring book. No wonder the bookshop owner wanted to get rid of it so badly.
Oh. Well, no problem.
A collection of children's books fill those shelves. An old man occasionally steals sidelong glances at Alexander from under a concealing hood.
No, that's not. I want to look at this.
These shelves hold a selection of cookbooks. Alexander isn't interested in the cookbooks on that shelf. He's had an aversion to cooking ever since he experimented with a certain cookie recipe involving cat hair and fish oil.
King's Quest 3 again.
Assorted travelogues and biographies are arranged on these shelves.
Not interested.
These shelves hold a collection of oddly titled guidebooks. Alexander notices such books as How to Become King with Little or No Rupees Down, Finding the Right Girl with the Right Dowry, and Why Good Princesses Like Bad Wizards.
Okay.
Volumes of poetry are on display on this bookshelf.
Let's take a look at these.
Thinking of Cosima, Alexander decides to leaf through one of the volumes of love poetry. He reads, Thy hair, thy lips, thy beauteous face, and all thy studied female grace have won for thee anon a place within this broken breast. Not bad. And another. Upon the shore the lilies bend, untouched by worldly care, where shadow they her earthly bed, oh, that she were not there. Yikes. And another. What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and binds my heart with links so tight I cannot live without the sight of you? What nameless thing has captured me and made me powerless to flee? What thing is it without a name that brings my mind e'er back the same to thee? The name of love cannot apply. Its commonness does not decry the haunted, hunted, painful cry that my heart makes for you, that e'er my soul eternal makes for you.
A little close to home, that one.
Indeed.
Alexander returns the love poem book to the shelf.
Oh, page fell out.
Alexander picks up the fallen page. It's the love poem he particularly liked. It must have fallen out of the poetry book.
I see that old volume has lost another page. You may keep it if you like, sir. I have glued the stubborn thing back in place 2 times already.
I do rather like it. Thank you, merchant.
And with that, I'm going to take a break. So in the next part, we're going to continue looking around the village. And until then, see you.